எத்தனை அமைப்புகள், எவ்வளவு எல்லாருக்கிட்டையுமே பரந்த உள்ளம், நிறைந்த எண்ணங்கள், உயர்ந்த சிந்தனைகள். அதனால் இந்த இதுக்கு நீங்கள் கண்காட்சிக்கு நீங்கள் வரும்போது, உங்களை தெரிஞ்சவங்களை கூட்டிகிட்டு வரும்போது, இது ஒரு கண்காட்சி, ஒரு புத்தக விற்பனை கூடமோ மட்டும் இல்லை, இந்து மதத்தினுடைய ஒரு விரிவை, அதன் ஆழத்தை, அதன் அற்புதத்தை காணக்கூடிய ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு யூனிவர்சிட்டியாக இருக்கும், ஒரு பல்கலைக்கழகமாக இருக்கும். இது அவ்வளோ அற்புதமான ஒரு பணி இது. இந்த பணி இன்று மட்டுமல்ல, இன்னும் மேலும் மேலும் சிறந்து ஓங்கி வளர்ந்து எல்லாருக்கும் இந்த இந்து மதத்தினுடைய மகிமையையும் பெருமையும் தெரிய வச்சு தானும் வளர்ந்து நாட்டையும் வளர்த்து முன்னேறணும்னு ஸ்ரீராமகிருஷ்ணர், சாரதாதேவி, விவேகானந்தர் ஆகியோருடைய திருப்பாதங்களை பணிந்து பிரார்த்தித்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Here we have Sri L.V. Subramanyam, the guest of honor, Executive Officer, TTD, which is one of the official patrons of the 5th Hindu Spiritual and Service Fair. Well known for promoting the spirit of service to humanity, nature and animals, Sri Subramanyam ji.
Om Namo Venkateshaya. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Our entire pursuit of knowledge in this land has been always, it has begun always with a reverential prayer to the Guru, praying to the Guru to give us all the kind light and direction. I am honored to share the dais with some very eminent people who have shown in their own lifetime the values for which they stand for. I am honored to be here, and I represent the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, which, as we all revere, Lord Venkateshwara is Kalo Venkatanayaka. The present generation belongs to Lord Venkateshwara. That's how the Venkateshwara Mahachyam says. As I began my small address today, I was pointing out that today in the Indian society, pursuit of excellence would mean acquisition of more information, acquisition of worldly skills, but certainly not the values which have been associated with that acquisition of knowledge. In the golden past, we knew the beautiful Gurukula system, where all the students were taught first how to serve the master, the Guru, and his mistress, and learn thereby the principle of dignity of labor. In the current context in our country, we find across the sections that this dignity of labor is a rare commodity. Fairs like this, togetherness like this, can expand our consciousness to absorb what are the different ways in which organizations which are dominated by a spirit of sacrifice are showing as an example to the others to follow. Our nation is proud because very soon we will have more than 40% of the population as youth. Now this fair should be attracting the attention of the youth. Yes, we had a golden past. All our forefathers have spent all their time in acquiring knowledge of various types. It could be the Vedic knowledge, as they say, the Paravidya or the Aparavidya. They have spent all their time. But what about the present generation of youth who are extraordinarily brilliant, who are able to stand up to the challenges of modern times? But in what way has this generation, where all of us are here, are we giving an opportunity to the next generation to understand what Sanatana Dharma stood for? I feel that fairs like this must also devote more time in exposing our students and youth to these kind of principles, so that they can imbibe much more than what we have imbibed in our lifetime. Certainly, the intelligent quotient is of a very high order today in the present generation. In Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, we have started last year in all earnestness a summer training program which we call Subhapradam, and we are exposing students who have passed 10th, the 10th and 10 plus 2 stage, for a 11-day course on Sanatana Dharma, what our rituals mean, what does our literature mean, our itihasas, whether it is the Ramayana, Mahabharata or Bhagavatam, explaining to them in their own context principles that are underlying Sanatana Dharma. We have seen extraordinary response coming from the youth. I am sure there are various organizations who are all represented here who are doing similar things. Today, that is the trust deficit that is there in the society. It is that which is actually hampering our progress in various walks of life. No manager trusts his staff member. No officer trusts his own subordinate. And I can expand this corollary to all walks of life. Now, if we trust begets trust, as they say. So, if we are all anchored in Sanatana Dharma values, and if we all can say that Satyam Nasti Paro Dharmaha, I am sure the society becomes a better place to live. I wish to congratulate once again Shri Gurumurti Ji for bringing so many individuals here, bringing various organizations here, and showing us the beautiful mosaic which is available in the Indian subcontinent, where, as the Puja Gurus were sitting here, as I could understand very little of the Tamil that he spoke, where he said, we always believed in our society that it is always Ajnata Danam. We never always announce what is the Danam that we have done. That was the tenet which has governed our thinking the last so many generations. But alas, a stage has come where Hindus have to stand up and say, we also believe in service, we also believe in charity. In one way, I think it is not a very happy thing to happen, but nevertheless it is happening because of the current challenges. I am sure this fair would attract more and more attention in days to come, and may Lord Venkateshwara bless this effort and give his very, very powerful blessings to make all the participants to reinvigorate them with rededication, that they go back and do much more of service to the society and shape the lives of people who are today being guided by various other attractions to go into various faiths and various beliefs. Let them all understand the quintessence of Hinduism, which is the Sanatana Dharma, and lead a very peaceful life and be part of this great revolution which is happening today in this country. Any temple we go, any religious congregation we go, we find thousands of people today coming, which is a very, very remarkable development which all of us should notice. I am very happy that I have been made a part of today's function, and before I close, I do have to express my word of apology for being late, as I landed up in a wrong entrance and I had to find my way back here. I am extremely sorry for that. Om Namo Venkateshaya.
We deem it an honor to have Sri Lal Krishna Advani amidst us today. Being the former Deputy Prime Minister, Sri Advani is a staunch Hindu and advocates Hindutva. One of the tallest statesmen of Indian polity, Sri Advani is one of the greatest symbols of honesty and integrity in Indian politics, which is a rare phenomenon today.
As Bhagavan Sri Krishna's Gita echoes worldwide, let Lal Krishna Advani ji's message ring around the world. Yatha Krishnasya Gita tu suprasiddhasmin mandale tatha Krishnasya Advanehi vagbhavatihi vardhana. Here we have Advani ji for his inaugural address. Shri L.K. Advani will proceed to the fair and offer floral tribute to Swami Vivekananda in the central hall, symbolizing the inauguration as soon as this function is over.
Having been in public life for many decades, I have participated in many functions, very variegated. But I must say that this is a function of a unique kind. Never before have I had the privilege of inaugurating a Hindu spiritual and service fair as this one. And for this unique opportunity, I owe a debt of immense gratitude to my old friend and colleague, Sri Gurumurthy. Sometimes I wonder, I think, how come that in India there are functions in the name of many communities, many castes, but it's very rare that anyone organizes a function in the name of Hindus. Would anything of this kind happen in, say, any Western country dominated by the Christian community? But in India it does happen. And the good part of it is that it is a Hindu function which doesn't emphasize Hinduism as much as it does service, seva, and in a way tries to emphasize that there can be no Hinduism without seva. I have often in my mention of Swami Vivekananda referred to the fact that in the year 1897 he returned from a trip to the west and he landed in Chennai. At that time it wasn't known as Chennai, it was known as Madras. And in an auditorium, I do not know where, but it was also the month of February, when he came to India, returned to India after a trip to the West in 1897, and people who had come to listen to him in that auditorium, they had come mainly to hear a powerful sermon on his concept of Vedanta. And he did speak about religion, he did speak about Hindu spiritualism, but the thrust of his speech that day was, all of you here worship some or the other god or goddess. My appeal to you is that for the coming 50 years, let the goddess that you worship remain asleep, go to sleep, and let only one goddess remain alive, awake and alive, and that is Mother India, Bharat Mata. One of the objectives of this particular fair, as told to me and explained here also by Swamiji, is that Hinduism or Hindu spiritualism does not mean any unconcern for social welfare. And so when in the year 1897, such a great spiritual leader like Swami Vivekananda, whose greatness was acknowledged not merely by our own country, but by the whole world. It's very rare that just a few words of an opening speech can create such a deep impact as Swami Vivekananda's address to the Chicago Parliament of Religions. The mere phrase, the appellation, not using the usual phrase of ladies and gentlemen, Swami Vivekananda said, "Sisters and brothers of America," and then went on to deliver his speech. That single phrase, "Sisters and brothers of America," evoked such a response from the audience that there were deafening cheers for a long, long time. Of course, his speech that day was an exposition of what Hinduism is. And he said, sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilizations, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. Demons means fanaticism. Fanaticism is something that if it exists in a society, it cannot allow the biggest political system in the world today, acknowledged by everyone, democracy, to survive. I remember around the year 1990, a television team coming from Canada, coming to interview me in my party office in New Delhi. And the question posed to me was, they said that from among the developing countries of the world, it seems that only India has been able to evolve as a successful